Hello friends, it's Miss Vo here with this week's handwork craft. Now if you're anything like me, you are definitely missing your friends. So we are going to start out our handwork with making something that we can give to our friends and has us meditating on friendship, like these really cool ladder stitch friendship bracelets. It's a really simple friendship bracelet to make. It's actually one of the simplest friendship bracelets using only one single knot, and it whips up really quickly and it looks really, really cool. I think you'll enjoy this craft, so let's begin. In your materials packet, you will find that you will have a hank of embroidery floss, kind of looking a little similar to this, because you have multiple friendship bracelets that you will be making with me over the next couple of weeks. But for now, we're only going to use a little bit, okay? So we are specifically going to use 5 strands of embroidery floss. Right now, here I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands of embroidery floss that I have chosen for this particular bracelet. And I'm gonna want to use a length of about 18 to 20 inches, okay? I find that about 20 inches is perfect for a bracelet that fits around my very big adult wrist that I can tie around, but that should definitely work fine for you as well. Now, once we have our 5 strands, we're going to take them and make a knot to begin our bracelet. Like I said, this is very, very easy to do. Oh, also, just so you know, the materials that I would be using in addition to our embroidery floss that is included into your packet, here I have a piece of rectangular cardboard, a clipboard if you do not have access to any scrap rectangular cardboard, some scissors, and a tiny bit of Scotch tape. Not much. These are all optional, okay? If you just have a little piece of scrap cardboard, that's fine. If you also have a friendship bracelet loom, you can use that as well. In terms of making a loom out of your scrap rectangle of cardboard, what you are going to do is you're going to want to cut a notch, little notches as you can see I've cut here, into opposite ends with the scissors. That way you can anchor it with your knotted end on one end and your working thread down at the other as you are trying to work. Of course, if you like to use a clipboard, I have my clipboard here to show you with that as well. So, like I said, now we have our 5 strands of embroidery floss rather, and we're going to take our 5 strands of 18 to 20 inches of embroidery floss, and we're going to take it and match it up at the ends so that they're a little bit, they don't have to be perfect, but pretty close to each other. And we're going to make a knot now. So I'm going to wrap this around my index finger like so, making that X, coming back through the loop with all 5 strands and pulling that towards the end, giving myself about an inch and a half of unworked thread to be able to work with to tie my knot and tie it onto my recipient. Okay, so that's how we do that, okay? Of course, we would anchor that into the top of that like so, and this doesn't require any tape. We would just be able to anchor it and continue to work with it. If you put it on your clipboard, same thing, anchor it and begin to work, I'm sorry. So with this one specifically, I have marked the specific knot that we will be doing for you, and it's just the D knot. We will be doing this knot over and over and over again, or a variation of this knot for the majority of our friendship bracelets or macrame and some other projects that I'm hoping we can do in the future, okay? So I'm going to show you this knot. It's super easy. Like I said, it's just a D. So what I do is I take my yarn or one strand of my embroidery floss and I make a D. The other 4 strands are tucked neatly at the bottom. You see that? So I make my letter D, as you can see, and then I bring the thread back up through the loop of my D, making sure I wrap all the way around all 4 of my working yarn, and I pull it up in a knot. One more time. D, knot, pull, wrap. D, wrap that back around through the loop and pull the knot up to cover completely. D knot. Now you can see here on the cardboard I have marked for myself basically 1/2 inch notches to kind of tell myself when I'm going to want to switch colors. Of course, you do not have to do that, but that's roughly about approximately how long I knot before I switch to the next color. So I'm going to tuck away this green and I'm going to switch to my next color, which will be my orange. Take my orange, making the letter D, bring it back underneath, making sure that I wrap it all the way around all the rest of my thread and pull that right on up, butting against my last color. If you have to kind of nudge it on up, that's fine. Just make sure that you're completely covering it for the effect that you want to make the wrapped, curly, knobby effect that we really like. And the texture. So I'm gonna work on this for a little while and probably shoot a little time lapse, and I will see you on the other end where I will show you how to knot it off, and we will be done with this week's friendship bracelet. So I'm back. I've gotten to the length that I want to go to, and you want to have about at least this much left. As you notice that as you are making your D knots and as you are wrapping and knotting it around, your thread that you're working with is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So you want to give yourself a little bit of room to actually be able to tie it off, okay? So this is my sample. It's really short. Usually you want at least a couple rows of your pattern to make. Or if you're making it longer, you want to do 3 or 4. So now that I have gotten to the end of where I want to be, I'm going to just once more take it, wrap it around my finger, making that X, taking all 5 strands and pulling it through that loop. This time around it gets a little bit trickier because some of the strands might not be all kind of uniform, but you can make it work. At this point, I trim it to make it look nice and even, and voila. There's your friendship bracelet. This is a small sample that'll probably be for my baby. Your friendship bracelet is ready to wear, ready to give, so on and so forth. I wonder how many of these you can make. Embroidery floss is really inexpensive and you can buy packs of it in a variety of colors and it's super easy to work with. You can also do these with yarn if you have some excess yarn. But like I said, it's really easy. It's really cool looking. It's really fun and textured and nubby. And I think this would make an excellent gift to show your friend how much you care. I will see you at the Handwork Help Desk. And if you have any questions, any problems, any concerns, any kind of new ideas that you want to share with me, you can certainly let me know then. You can also contact me at winhandworkteam@gmail.com. Bye! See you next week!